Hey guys, Justin Coffin here for the 330 Sports Show. I'm recording this Monday, July 5th for Tuesday, July 6th show. I'm not able to do the show live, so I wanted to give you a quick sports update from over the weekend. I won't have the news for you from last night, which is Monday night, which is today in my world when I'm recording this. But anyways, Tuesday night, the NBA Finals will tip off in Phoenix. The Suns and the Bucks. The Suns are a 6-point favorite in game one. I like the Suns to win this series in 6 games. Again, provided everyone stays healthy. The status for Giannis, I believe he's going to play, but still uncertain at this point. This NBA playoffs has been marred by injuries, but hopefully everyone stays healthy and it should be a competitive series if everyone does. Right now, we are at the exact halfway point in Major League Baseball. Just almost every team has played 81 games. The Indians right now sit at 42-31. Unfortunately, they've lost 6 in a row. They've just been decimated, especially their pitching staff, by injuries. Hopefully, we can get some of these guys back. Hopefully, we can get them healthy and, still make a run at it for the AL Central. Doesn't look good right now, but you never know. And hats off to Terry Francona and the staff. They've really done a good job with what they had, and up until these last 6 games, have been playing excellent baseball. Shane Bieber and Jose Ramirez were both named to the American League All-Star team. I'd argue Aaron Savale probably should be on the team. He's injured right now, but leading the league with 10 wins. And has missed really his last 3 starts. So, again, hopefully the Indians can get back into contention in the AL Central. Shohei Ohtani is the first 2-way player to be named to an All-Star game. Right now, he has already tied the Japanese the record for most home runs by a Japanese player. I believe it was Hideki Matsui back with the Yankees, but Shohei has 31 home runs already, and we're at July 5th, so he's got half a season to go. So he is on record pace, and also pitching. Besides a few starts, has been an excellent pitcher this year. Right now, our division leaders, the Red Sox, lead comfortably. The White Sox and the Astros all are the American League division leaders. The Mets and the Brewers lead their respective divisions, and the Giants and the Dodgers are neck and neck right now, with San Diego not too far behind. So very competitive baseball season. It's going to be really competitive, especially for those last couple wild cards to get in. Big news for Ohio State. Yesterday, they landed JT, I'm going to hopefully pronounce his name right, JT Tuimoloau. He is a top-ranked defensive end by 24/7 Sports. You look at some of the recruiting sites out there. Some have him ranked 3, but nowhere has him ranked lower than number 4 that I have seen, which puts the Buckeyes for the 2021 class. They have 5 of the top 10 commits overall in the entire country, which is just amazing. So awesome news for the Buckeyes. They bring him in. They have Jack Sawyer on the other defensive end, and obviously some veterans there. But the Buckeyes look to be loaded for the next foreseeable future. And not to mention, they're bringing in the top-ranked player in certain recruiting agencies' history next year with Quinn Ewers at quarterback. But let's not look too far ahead. Let's look at this season. CJ Stroud looks to be the Buckeye quarterback, and we'll have plenty more on the Buckeyes as we go forward. A little bit of NHL news. Obviously, right now, the Stanley Cup finals are going on. By the time this broadcast airs, we'll know if Tampa Bay has won the title, the Stanley Cup title, or it'll be going to Game 5. Right now, Tampa holds a 3-0 lead, with Game 4 being tonight in Montreal. So by Tuesday, we will know if it's going to Game 5 or Tampa has won the series. So a little bit of sad news to pass along. Not a little bit, a lot of sad news to pass along. Columbus Blue Jackets goalie he played mostly in the minor leagues with the Cleveland franchise, but his name is Matisse Kivlenix, and I hope I pronounced that right. But he's only 24 years old, and obviously this weekend being the 4th of July, he was involved with a fireworks accident, and I'm not going to get too much into details, but he tragically passed away. So sad news to pass along from the hockey world there. But that is our sports update for today's show. Now we're going to get back into our regular scheduled show that we had for today, our Top 5 Tuesday. I think you're going to have, I think you're going to really enjoy it. Let's just say that. So take a look at that, and appreciate everybody watching. Have a great Tuesday. Hey guys, Justin Coffin here for the 330 Sports Show. It's going to be our Top 5 Tuesday segment. I want to thank Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They just celebrated their 50th anniversary of the release of their movie. So that inspired me to come up with the top 5 list for this week is worst movie characters. So worst movie characters could be kind of like an onion. It could be have many layers. It could be someone that is an awful character. They could be a murderer. They could be a deadbeat like Grandpa Joe. They could be villainous, whatever it might be. Or maybe they're just a bad actor or actress. It could be, like I said, different facets. Different people think different things. So we're going to do our draft here after this. You're going to be able to hear kind of our reasoning for our picks. Grandpa Joe is the unanimous number 1 pick. And then we're going to make 24 other picks in this. You're going to hear why. But my top 5 list on my big board I have here, kind of my Mel Kiper, Todd McShay big board, is Grandpa Joe clearly number 1, and for reasons you will hear here in just a second. Buzz McAllister, number 2, Home Alone. Rose's mom, Titanic, number 3. Warden Norton, and by the way, Rose's mom, awful person. Gold digger, doesn't care that many people are going to die in this freezing water, whatever. You can get more into it later. Warden Norton, Shawshank Redemption, and Scar, the Lion King. These characters are all very important for reasons, too, because you can't have a good quality movie without a bad or worst character. So sometimes, though, like I said, on the other hand, a bad actor or actress makes, the movie not quite as good. So take a listen to our draft. Hope you find it entertaining. If we left anyone off the list, I really, really encourage you to write in, share your thoughts, and what we overlooked or what we missed, because everyone's got different tastes. Everyone's got different likes or interests in movies and characters and what they like and dislike. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoy the draft. Hey guys, Justin Coffin, the 330 Sports Show. Joining me, Brett Franklin, Greg Kirchner. We are going to do what's known as the Grandpa Joe draft. That's what we're going to entitle this, because we are just making him the number 1 pick overall. I'm not giving anyone an opportunity to not take him. So this will be known as the Grandpa Joe draft. We had put this out on social media last week, and the best thing about this to me was so many people never thought of Grandpa Joe as being this evil, hated character until they started realizing, hey, this guy kind of screwed his family over so many times. We'll get into that in just a minute. But so what we're going to do, Grandpa Joe is already the number 1 pick. He's the Trevor Lawrence of this year. The draft really starts at number 2. And we were talking a little bit off air. So Greg kind of, I said, I just wrote down a list of I have 45 on my list of characters I can't stand for various reasons. Kind of explain what you were thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's I almost think there's almost two categories within the category. One is your Grandpa Joe's, right? Where you probably say it was a good acting performance. There's nothing wrong with the performance. The character is just just sucks. And we'll get into why he sucks. And then there's probably the other end of it where maybe it's just a character in a good movie that's completely miscast and either ruins the movie or diminishes the movie, or just a really bad acting performance sort of surrounded by good performances that stand out. That's kind of the way I look at it. Like, so I'm not looking at it as like, if a character is evil and meant to be evil and does a good job at being evil, then I don't have them on my list, but you guys might. So I'm going from that angle.
Okay. There's actually, with what Greg just said, there's actually a third aspect. It's the two combined. You have a bad character and a very bad performance on top of it. I actually have a few of those on here too. So.
Okay.
Well, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think this will be fun because we're going to kind of come at it from a bunch of different angles. So the reason this whole thing came about, last week was the 50th anniversary. We're recording this right around the 4th of July. 2021. But last week was about the 50th anniversary of the release of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And every time I see like an anniversary involving that movie, it always triggers me with Grandpa Joe. So I'm going to read a real quick write-up. I'm not going to take credit for this. This was someone on the internet, but it pretty much sums up my thoughts on Grandpa Joe. And you guys feel free to pile on as we go. So here's a real quick write-up that this person wrote. The single greatest piece of garbage in history, not just movie history, all history. The Bucket family was eating boiled water with a little bit of cabbage for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day. Their roof had a person-sized hole in it, and they just left it there. When I say they were the poorest of the poor, I mean they were one step above being homeless with no food, nothing. With four disabled grandparents laying in bed in the middle of the living room for some reason, the Buckets had 7 mouths to feed. Suddenly, when Charlie wins a free tour of a chocolate factory, Grandpa Joe can walk. Oh, wait, excuse me. Did I say walk? He leaps out of bed, dances around, and hits a tight musical number that he had clearly rehearsed prior to that moment. So after years of swindling a poor family out of whatever little amounts of money they had by pretending to be crippled, he goes to the factory and immediately breaks the rules, jeopardizing riches for the whole family. In the end of the film, when crazy Willy Wonka flips out on Charlie, Grandpa Joe just tucks his tail between his leg and runs. He can't even defend his grandson. Just a con artist who can't give less of a damn about anyone but himself. So I thought that perfectly summed up Grandpa Joe. You guys got any more thoughts on this?
I will, I'll say actually, even though to his defense, I feel he kind of did defend him at the end there a little bit, but he was easily ready to just say, fuck you, Willie, and take it over to the guy because, I just think the man was just flat out lazy. The character was just flat out lazy. He didn't want to do anything, and all of a sudden he can. I think I even put it in the tweet. I was like, he can dance around a bed pole like an 8-year-old. Like he's just, he has all the energy in the world, but he's been bedridden for 20 years.
And the thing, Abby, I really gave this probably more thought than I should, but like, how old do you think he is in this movie? I'm not even putting him at 70.
Yeah, he's in his 60s.
So that son of a bitch has been bedridden since he was in his 40s. That part really, I don't understand it. I mean, and is that a California king bed they're in, or is it like two twins pushed together, or what is it? It's like,
I'd imagine it's two twins pushed together. They're poor. They're dirt poor. They're not.
I know, but it's a sizable bed.
Actually, it may just be a barrel of hay that's just has some sheets over top of it.
That's very true. Yeah. I have a very quick laundry list of a few things that just pissed me off about him, and I think I tweeted some of these. But first of all, when the golden ticket thing comes out, and Charlie's like, "I want to find a golden ticket," and he's like, "I expect you to find all 5." Like, all right. First of all, setting unrealistic expectations. Like, what the hell? let's see. Charlie offers and probably does pay for his tobacco. I'm sure somebody's been paying for his tobacco because he's been smoking tobacco for 20 years. And finally, it's been 20 years. And finally he says, if a loaf of bread looks like a feast, then, I shouldn't be smoking tobacco. What have you been doing for the last 20 years? What else? Let's see. Yeah, I didn't like him in the whole fizzy lifting drink scene either. Like, self-preservation was clearly his number one motive. Like, no, like, hey, Charlie, get behind me as we go up to this fan blade. And he accidentally burps probably out of panic, but he didn't. I mean, come on. That's bullshit. He's no hero.
I mean, he pushed him to do it. Like, he's the fucking adult. He should be, hey, we shouldn't do this. We should just follow this tour. No, hey, let's drink this stuff. We don't even know what this is.
Yep. Yeah.
I love the passion out of both of you, and this is great.
Yeah. Well, it's like you feel sort of betrayed by him because I feel like I don't know what age you have. You said it, Justin. I mean, there's people that probably haven't realized until the last couple of weeks that Grandpa Joe's his true colors, right? But I don't think there's no, like, if my kids watch this movie, they're not going to be like, oh, that guy's a freeloading piece of shit. Like, no, like, he's just like you.
They're looking through the eyes of a child, sort of.
Yeah,
like
it's a
Charlie
weird betrayal when you get to the age that you realize that this guy's actually a piece of shit. And how long did it take for him to run that factory into the ground after this movie?
Oh, days. You can give guys starting a small business at least 6-8 months. It took him days.
The Oompa
Loompas just said screw this.
No, all the Oompa Loompas had to quit.
I think one of my other nitpicky things with him is he just everything he did was to live vicariously through Charlie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He was dependent on Charlie to have a better life.
Oh yeah.
And I think my last point on this, I could go on all day, but like the one thing that they could have added to this movie, honestly, if they wanted to make him seem like a little bit less of a piece of shit, besides the dance number, which I get, it's for effect, but they should have put like a little thing where he's like, hey, you should take your mother. She's been working at the laundry for the last 20 years supporting this family. Why don't you take her to the chocolate factory? And then she would say something like, no, Grandpa Joe, I know you love. You've been supportive of Charlie this whole time. Why don't you guys go ahead? That would have gone along.
Oh man, that's a really good point though. But that's also shitty on Charlie, even though we're not getting into him here.
Yes.
That's shitty on Charlie to not offer it to his mother, who does everything for the family. I mean, he had to scrounge up the money just to buy a piece of candy.
Exactly. Yeah, and he not only does Grandpa Joe not make that offer, but during his song he says he goes, I got a golden ticket. It's ours. It's not ours. It's Charlie's. Like, what did you do? Nothing.
In his defense, he probably needs an 18-year-old or older adult to accompany him. But to both of your points, he should have taken his mother.
Yeah.
So I want a little side story on the other 3 adults that have been bedridden too.
Yeah.
I want to know what the hell their problem was as well. They don't get into it, but they're all in this together. I'm almost positive.
Oh yeah.
They're scheming. They're scheming. They're in that bed scheming all day. Like, yeah. It's also, I love that it's like Georgina, George, Josephine, and Joe. Like, let's just make this even more ridiculous.
I love it. Okay. All right. Let's we're gonna run out of time if we stay on that. We might revisit this every year. On this anniversary, like early July or late June, every single year. But we could go on forever about Uncle Joe. But one positive thing did inspire this draft. So we are going to it's going to end up being a 25-person draft, but Grandpa Joe already selected number 1 by all of us and by the world. So Franklin is going to go technically have the first pick here. Greg will go next, and then I will go after that. It's going to be like a batting order, so we're just going to go Brett, Greg, me, Brett, Greg, me, over and over. So Brett, I'm going to let you lead it off with your first pick of the draft.
Yeah, I mean, after Grandpa Joe, to me, this is actually one of the more despicable characters I've watched, and Greg may agree with me on this one. I'm going Private Upham from Saving Private Ryan. That piece of scared shit. Like, dude, grow a pair. Just grow a pair.
Yeah.
He lets his buddy die because he just was too scared to go up there.
Mm-hmm.
He's just he tried to get out of everything possible, and he had this everything was he stood from a soapbox. Let that prisoner of war go. Don't let him, whatever. But yeah, I still can't stand that guy every time I watch that movie.
Understandable.
That's a good pick.
All right, Greg, you're up for your first one.
There's still like the first couple rounds of this is going to be it's going to be a little all over the place trying to figure out like which way we're going. I really like Franklin's pick. This is very random because this isn't even really a movie or a series that I really like. But I'm going with Bella Swan from the Twilight series.
I'm with you, man. She's on my list too.
I'm not a big Twilight guy. You could probably this may not be the last we hear of Twilight in this draft, maybe not, but she's just God bless her. She made however many millions of dollars she's made off of these movies, but I have not come across one person who's been like, gosh, that woman can act. It's just bad. Just bad.
Yeah, to me, she's actually that dual aspect there. The character sucked.
Yeah.
But she is so dry as it is.
Yeah, and awkward. I mean, I guess they're trying to get the awkward thing. She's always like kind of looking away and down and like weird shaking and like just I don't get it. I don't get Kristen Stewart. So yeah, it's not necessarily my top. She's not necessarily number one on my board, but I feel like for the greater masses, that's probably a big one.
Okay. All right, that's fair. All right, with my first pick, this is another movie that might have multiple characters selected, but I'm going with Rose's mom from Titanic. So she was basically just this gold digger, elitist, didn't care that people were going to die, basically said, well, Rose goes up to her when spoiler alert, the Titanic crashes and sinks. But, when there's not enough boats, she's basically like, only half these people are going to survive. And she's like, well, the only half that matters, so just like that comment alone right there. And then, I'm not going to mention the other character because he could easily be drafted in this draft too. But I just think she's a world-class piece of shit. So I'm going with Rose's mom, and I can't even remember her name from the movie. So I think it's
Ruth DeWitt Buttiker.
Okay. Well, she is a big Buttiker in this fucking movie. So yeah, so I'm going with her. Brett, you're up with your second
good pick.
You know what? I got a couple I'm going to hold off on because I'm pretty sure no one's going to pick them.
Okay.
So I'm going to go down my list, and I think Doug's going to maybe mad at me. I'll see if he is or not. But I'm going to Rachel Dawes from Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. She's insufferable. She's got she does sit on this like soapbox of righteousness, and it's just freaking annoying. Like everything that comes out of her mouth is just the worst. And I think they switched up the actresses in the two movies. I don't think neither of them are really all that bad of actresses, but I just think the role was just so bad. The writing for Rachel Dawes was just terrible.
And that is who is
Batman Begins and The Dark Knight.
So it's Katie Holmes and
then
Maggie
Gyllenhaal.
Yes, correct. Okay. All right, good pick. All right, Greg, you got the sixth overall pick here.
And I feel like we got to put this disclaimer in because we're going to be bragging on a lot of the women, I think, and I think it really, unfortunately, is just a product of a lot of movies, especially as we go back, just didn't have good female parts written. So because I noticed that as I went down my list, I'm like, oh my God, I have almost nothing but female characters. I have a few.
That's weird. I have very few female characters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she just happened to be there, and as I was putting all this together, I was like, it's like top of my list. Not top of my list, but like, front of my brain.
Yeah. So as I say that, I'm going to go after another female character. So this one, so I'm a huge Godfather fan, as you guys know. So in the Godfather Part 3, which was clearly not the best of the three, clearly by far the worst of the three, Francis Ford Coppola cast his daughter, Sofia Coppola, to play Al Pacino or Michael Corleone's daughter. And it was basically like if somebody just cast like you or I or somebody with zero acting experience to take on a key role in a very important movie. And she just absolutely butchers it. It's known as one of kind of just the worst castings and the worst performances. And I don't know if it ruins the movie, but it certainly doesn't help the movie. She's gone on to become a really successful director, but performance terrible. So it's Mary Corleone is the character's name, played by Sofia Coppola.
Okay. All right, very good. All right, I'm going with my next character is a character I think everybody knows probably very well. I don't know if this character was in any movies besides this franchise, but I'm going with Buzz McAllister, just because I can't stand that piece of shit.
That, you know what though, that's really funny because he was actually going to be my next pick. Like, he was right there. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I like it starts off like he causes all the trouble, like in the kitchen, that the milk spills on the plates because he's antagonizing Kevin the whole, and another character in that movie too, which might get drafted later, causes some trouble too. But Kevin's a freaking 8-year-old kid and gets like ragged on. And I could almost go into Home Alone 2 and say Buzz was even worse in that movie. But this 8-year-old kid's left home alone. They finally come home and, pretty cool. You didn't burn the place down, Kevin. And then literally as the credits start rolling, he starts ripping him again, like, Kevin, what'd you do to my room? So, yeah. And his girlfriend, come on. Wolf. So, which, by the way, fun fact, that was actually a boy cast because they didn't want to be so mean to any girl they put in that picture. But anyway, Buzz McAllister, number 7 overall.
Yeah, the fact how you can hate your brother like that much, like, is beyond me. Especially as children, I understand like down the road shit like that, but like, man, like just give the kid a break.
Right.
All right. Well, I'm going to the next one because I don't think he's making it much further. We've actually discussed this guy quite a few times, and rightfully so. I did get some interesting facts on him, but we're going to go with Frank Rudiger from Rudy.
Good job.
He, along with Buzz, is just the definition of asshole brother. Yeah. Now, Frank, I actually read on this a little bit today. Frank doesn't exist. He's not real.
Oh.
And it's more the character itself was more of a culmination of all the crappy people who put down Rudy throughout his life.
Interesting.
So it's like, Frank is literally a culmination of shitty people.
And he plays it well.
And it was played pretty well. But I mean, you can't, your brother's got some dreams. You can't say, hey, good job, man. Like every time he does something well, you just show disdain for the guy.
Yep.
And then he tries to do like a complete about face at the end of the movie, but nobody's buying it.
Still don't know where he's looking. Still don't know where he's staring at the end.
Exactly.
Who's he pointing to as well?
Not even on the right side of the field there, buddy. All right. Good pick there, though. Frank Rudiger from Rudy. Greg, you got pick number 9.
All right, I'm gonna try to. Well, I probably screwed this up. I was gonna say I was gonna try to sync it up with what I do in my background, but Let's see if it works. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, that fucking
this guy. So I know it's in reverse right now, but I had to go like Love Actually is enough. I mean, you finding out doing this, there's a lot of movies where you could probably pick like at least 2 or 3 people from, but I feel like this guy takes the cake in Love Actually. It's like the old I feel like the whole idea of being mean and dismissive and shitty to a girl you like is kind of goes away by the time you hit about 6th grade. But not this guy. Like, this guy is a total dick to Keira Knightley, like, throughout the entire movie. Until she realizes that in her wedding, he filmed her exclusively, which is creepy. And then he does this, which has become a symbol of a romantic gesture, which can be, depending on the context, but in this case, further creepy.
Seems a little stalkerish at that point.
Isn't he good friends with the husband too?
Yeah, he's like best friend.
So even worse.
Even worse. And then she goes out, gives him a kiss on the cheek, or maybe even a kiss on the mouth. I think it might have was. And then we're expected to believe that that's it. He even says like, "This is it. It's it now."
Yeah.
No, this thing ends with a restraining order or worse. So this guy, his name is Mark. I don't even know if he has a last name in the movie. He's played by Andrew Lincoln.
Okay. All right. That's a solid pick and a classic all-time meme already too. Where people just write something else on the side. So.
Yeah.
All right. My next pick is a guy with an extremely punchable face. And I think this is, I would argue, one of the top 10 movies of all time. But Shawshank Redemption, Warden Norton in the movie. I don't know his real name, but I just think this guy is a world-class piece of shit, and he can't even face the music at the end. Again, spoiler alert, kind of will tell you what that means. But just what he did to the prisoners, how they were treated, and I get it, they're prisoners, they're in jail, it was a different time, but this guy, world-class piece of trash. So he's right up there with Grandpa Joe.
Yeah, he hid behind that Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he did, and then hid behind the Bible. But he was. You're right. He was as evil as they come.
No doubt,
for sure.
No doubt,
for sure. So, Greg, actually, that Andrew Lincoln, that was one of the main characters for a long time on The Walking Dead.
Oh, okay.
So he left after, I forget what season it was. I think it was maybe 7. But yeah, he was really what the comic was. He played the main character of the comic. So
interesting.
Anyway, all right. Well, I'm going to get back to kind of sort of going down my list instead of jumping around here. So I think it's about time to take it. Two of them kind of go in the same movie, but I'm going to take the first. I'm going to take this other one. I'm going young Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. He's got a little Star Wars shirt on today anyway. Well, from Birdfish at least. He also fits the mold of bad acting. It was so bad. This is the only thing I believe he started. He ended up having some, which I do feel bad about. He had some mental issues down the road because of this movie. He was but the writing was poor, the acting was poor, which made just the character just insufferable. I love Star Wars movies, but young Anakin Skywalker is definitely one of my least favorite.
Okay. That's it.
Hayden Christensen?
No, his name was Jake Lloyd.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So he played the child.
Got it.
But it was such forced acting, and he was almost too young for the part. And yeah, it was just pretty bad.
Okay. All right. Solid pick there. Anakin Skywalker, and you said that was the Phantom Menace?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good pick. All right, Greg, you are up.
So this is actually the first character when you first pitched this that came to mind. Random, but from Caddyshack.
Oh, okay.
Maggie.
Oh, man, I thought you were going Judge on that one.
No, Judge is great.
But Maggie. Oh yeah, you're so right.
Maggie, I had to look her up. Maggie O'Houlihan, played by Sarah Holcomb, who's also in Animal House. Just this random, like Danny Noonan's random sort of girlfriend with this awful Irish accent. Which I actually did look it up, and they said that sometimes like people would come over on work at golf courses from Ireland in the summer on work visas. So at least there's maybe a backstory behind that. But I just feel like she is an absolutely awful character from start to finish, and just doesn't fit within the movie. And the movie's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but she's just this classic like miscast. Don't know why she has an Irish accent. And
well, she also forces shit onto what's his name, her boyfriend
Danny,
and but which reminds us of another character from who is related to Frank Rudiger, who has a girlfriend who pushes him around. So, not to name drop anybody, but yeah,
no, that's very good. That's a different. That's like an outside the box pick there. I like that. Yeah. Maggie O'Houlihan. All right. I'm going with the first cartoon character. I'm doing it. So I'm going with Scar from The Lion King. Great voice in this. Played, I can't think of his name, but he was in Die Hard 2, and but just a friggin' piece of shit uncle to and he killed his freaking brother, Mufasa. So, and
tried to kill his nephew.
Yeah, and tried to kill his nephew too. So, all-time badass character. One of the most hated in all of Disney. And you can, I think you realize at an early age, not just this lion takes the place of a lot of humans in life that you're going to cross paths with some unsavory people, aka lions. So guys, we're about halfway through the draft here. So I'm going to pause it real quick, and we're going to come back and record the second half here. Hey everybody, this is Justin of the 330 Sports Show. First wanted to talk to you a little bit about this show and a little bit about our network. But the first thing I want to take just a second to say is thank you. Our network and our show continues to grow show by show, week by week. And that's thanks to you guys, our listeners. Without you guys, we don't have a show. We don't have a network. And I just wanted to, again, say thank you. We appreciate you. As you know, my show, you can watch each Tuesday and Thursday live at 1 p.m. You can always watch on demand anytime through the Youngstown Studio page. You can follow my show at 330 Sports Show. You can follow the Youngstown Studio page at Youngstown Studio. We are on, all the social media platforms. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. So look for us there. Follow us. And if you like what you're hearing, subscribe and get notifications. You feel free to rate our shows. It really helps our network grow. Also, besides my show, we have a ton of great content on the network. We just surpassed 500 here in early July, 500 podcasts on our episodes are featured on our website. You can check that out at youngstownstudio.com. But some of the other shows we feature are Homes and Hops with Lisa Resnick, The Influencers Show, The Fast Freddy Show, The Joe and Doug Show. We have a political show, Turning Red. Mo Ray has joined us on some of our podcasts. We have a recovery show, Nostradamus. Pretty much everything under the sky we talk about down here. So you're going to find something on our network that is going to interest you. So make sure to give us a chance and a like and subscribe. I really think you'll find something that interests you or someone else that you can always share word of mouth. Also, just wanted to remind you, make sure to follow at 330 Sports Show, because I publish a lot of content that might not necessarily make it onto the show, but that might be interesting, whether it's local sports, regional sports, or national sports stories. So again, we appreciate our audience and your continued support of our programming. Anytime a show is open, or live, I should say, our phone lines will be open 330-595-1600, or simply comment on the platform you're watching. We love to engage. We love to hear from our audience and our listeners, and we, again, appreciate you all. We reach over 20,000 viewers per month, and which, puts us roughly over 5,000 per week, if not more, with our shows, our content. So continue to listen, continue to watch, and share it out, again, like I said, with anyone that might be interested. We appreciate you guys. Now we'll get back to the show. All right, we're back for the second half of the draft here. Brett is going to lead off, let's see, our fifth round here with pick number 14.
Yes, I got a couple guys that I'm kind of looking at, but one who I think is, in a way you don't think of it, I think when you originally watched the movie, but you kind of, like, I'm thinking at it now, like, he's sort of despicable. I'm going with the guy's name, as far as I know, I don't think he has the last name, but his name's Christoph from the Truman Show. He's basically imprisoned the guy to run a show. Like, how shitty of a human being do you have to be to imprison somebody to watch every second of who they are for TV?
Right. That's a great pick. And I feel like that actor, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but I feel like that guy plays a lot of characters like that.
Well, he was
Ed Harris, right?
That's Ed Harris. Yeah, so he was in like Apollo 13, where he was the good guy there. But yeah, I think in this instance, it's like, Chess, I mean, how just shitty of a human do you have to be? Not only to do it, but to feel validated that you're doing it because you have really good ratings.
Okay. I like it.
That's a good
So Christoph is his name, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
There's
very
one
good.
F at the end, I believe.
Okay. All right. Very good. All right, Greg, you got the next pick here.
All right, you guys have sort of swayed me now. I know I've been picking some weird ones. Like I've been going more on the miscast like track, but I'm gonna go for one just hated character because I have to and I want to. So I'm gonna go with Commodus from Peter.
That was my next pick.
Played by Joaquin Phoenix. I mean, I think we can all agree, absolutely incredible performance. But
absolutely,
about as hated. I can't think of too many characters that get my blood boiling much more than he.
I do think he has.
Why.
Yeah, he's been the ultimate villain in my view.
That's a really, really good pick. It's a really good.
His character. There's such a sadistic nature to it.
Yeah, you can just say it's again, performance incredible.
Yeah.
And I think, like you had said too, I think sometimes the more hated a character is, sometimes that does speak to the performance, because you don't hate them if they're, a bad actor. So, well, I guess you could, but it speaks to their performance that they're playing this character that you can't stand because they are a good actor. So I guess could be a two-sided coin there.
Yeah, he does his job, definitely. I'll throw in one quick fun fact. The scene, do you remember this? Did you know the Am I Not Merciful scene where he says it once to his sister, and then he screams it, he grabs her face and like screams it. That was unscripted, like that part of it. So if you watch it again, you could see like Connie Nielsen's like face like shakes, and like she stays in character, but that second scream, and was one of my favorite parts of the movie, was completely unscripted.
Wow.
Just yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good.
We've had some nice little factoids today.
Yeah. I like it. Okay. All right. So that brings it back to me. So many good picks. I have oh man. All right, I'm gonna go with a character everybody knows before I go with some obscure ones. But I'm gonna go into the movie Forrest Gump, and I'm gonna go with Jenny because she is, like, I guess you kind of feel bad with what happens to her, and stuff like that. But she just is, as a little kid, she's great with Forrest. She's wonderful. But as an adult, she is a world-class piece of shit. She just constantly throws this guy under the bus. And this guy's got a learning disability to begin with, and she is just constantly, and you feel bad again with what happened to her as a child. You feel bad with what happened to her as an adult, but that in-between part, she really is brutal to him in that movie. And again, speaks to her performance because she plays a great character. But just I could go down the list of different things that she does that's awful, but that's character I'm going to go with there.
You want to know what actually I think is probably the worst part about her? She had a child and didn't tell him for 8 years? Yeah. 6 to 8 years, somewhere around there. Didn't mention. Dude, my God, how awful are you?
Did she finally tell him because she realized she was sick?
Yeah, I think so.
I think she did. At least that's how it's portrayed in the movie. She told him because she was sick.
Every time she appears in the movie, it's obviously for her own needs, right? Mm-hmm. She disappears.
Yeah.
Till the ultimate reappearance for good, but she knew she was going to die, so that's her final disappearance. So yeah, great pick.
So she was one of the few females I did have on here. So there we go. All right. What is this pick 6 for us?
Yeah, this is each of our 6 picks coming up.
Okay. All right. I'm going with another one of my it's from one of my all-time favorite movies. It's one of the first movies. This has actually started a trend with my dad once, I got to college, but doing this with my dad, I kind of relate to it because this is the first movie I saw with him where it was just him and I. But I'm going Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park.
Ah, nice. Newman.
Yes, Newman. The guy is a filthy slob. He's just disgusting all around. Has such disdain for everybody but himself. And much like what we've seen it with a lot of these characters, unless it benefits them, they couldn't give one shit.
Yeah.
And I think he's actually sort of the epitome of that. He shut down a park with fucking dinosaurs that will kill you. So he could escape. Well, now at least he met spoiler alert, he met his end in the movie. So at least he got karma caught up to him quickly. But
there's something to be said too. I know it's a movie, but if he doesn't screw that whole thing up, what are the possibilities of that park? That could have been a great thing for the whole world.
It's very true.
I mean, he ruined our opportunity to go to Jurassic Park.
Such a dick.
And also not cool under pressure whatsoever.
No.
Just a pure fumbling idiot.
Oh man.
And he had no fear though. I mean, that thing was going to eat him. And God, you should know that. This isn't rocket science.
This isn't a petting zoo.
Yes. Yeah. They're meant to eat you. That's what they're going to do.
I will say that was pretty clever with the Barbasol can, though. Embryos in there. That was pretty clever.
Well, I mean, the good thing, it goes again, we speak to the character. He plays amazing characters. He's a really, really good actor. And he made you hate him.
Right. Exactly. Okay. All right, Greg, you are up for your 6th pick.
Oh man. We're going all over the map here.
There's still so many good ones.
Yeah, this is this is one of those just I almost want to make a blanket pick, but I'm not going to make a blanket pick. But we could pretty much go from almost any character from these couple string of movies. But I'm going to go with in terms of just a terrible character, Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin, played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just
It's weird. I immediately think, what's Doug going to think of this?
I think Doug would approve of this one.
Yeah, would approve of this one too.
I don't think Doug would acknowledge that Batman Forever and Batman Robin actually existed in this universe.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, you can pick your character, but I went with Freeze.
No, you're right. There's so many with them, and they're all so bad.
All right. My next pick is a great actor. One of the best there is in Hollywood currently, and probably over the last 15 years. But this character I despise because so many people like him. I'm going with Sack Lodge, Wedding Crasher. I mean, you're the Sack.
Ooh.
Just the way he dresses, the way he acts. Like I said, he plays such a douchey character, but but it's he does it so well that you can't stand him. So to his credit, he's a great actor, but it's because he plays such a douche in the movie. He's a real method actor, from what I hear.
So good.
And his name is Sack, for God's sakes.
Don't go to her; she'll come to you.
That's right. He's damn.
Yeah, man. We keep saying it, but he's the epitome of whatever adjective you want to throw in there. He's asshole, whatever. He is that person. No
and I think the thing is, we all know at least one Sack. Just kind of just that yuppie kind of.
Oh yeah.
Entitled guy.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's real. There's a realness to it.
All right, let's go. We each have 2 more picks remaining, so we're back to Brett for his 7th pick.
Greg dropped one in the line here, so I'm going to kind of stay away from it, just to kind of keep it going. You know what? I'm going to go down a little bit further down this list. So I'm going to grab Mayor Larry Vaughn from Jaws.
Good one.
You open up, you have a freaking shark that's been swimming in your waters, and you open it up for, I think it was wasn't it around the 4th or something like that? Or some sort of holiday.
Yeah.
And he was so adamant about opening up. We don't want to have this locked down. Be a freaking grown up and responsible. My God, you're killing people. So yeah.
Love it. That's a great pick. Okay, so Mayor Larry Vaughn.
Yeah, I don't know who played him, but
No, but he's one of those guys that once you see him, you know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good pick. All right, Greg, you're up.
All right, this came up in our sports movie our sports movie bracket, so I gotta pick her just for consistency. I'm gonna go with Myra Fleener from Hoosiers.
Okay.
Barbara Hershey, just your classic, and we talked about it again back in the brackets. Just your classic, I think even Bill Simmons calls it a wet blanket girlfriend. Just there just seems to be this theme in sports movies over the years where you just have this female lead that's kind of it's a love interest, but really she's not really good to the main character, and she's just shitty the whole movie to Gene Hackman. Doesn't want Jimmy Chitwood to play. Why? I don't know, because she's trying to protect him, but really she's not. Just a bad character.
Okay. All right, I like it.
And she tried to kill Roy Hobbs in The Natural. So you know what? It's a
double.
Dead to me.
Barbara Hershey. All right. My next one, I'm going to put the picture up. And she might be hard to see. Can you guys tell me who that is? Do you know who that is?
I'm gonna be really mad once you say it. It's all right. I should know this.
Is it from Mrs. Doubtfire?
Yes, it is. I don't even know what her name is, but the neighbor that calls the police. Well, actually, first she calls the police, then she's like, "Mrs. Miranda Hillard, please." and because they're having the birthday party, and it's first of all, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. They're having a party. It's not super loud. And I mean, I get there's a petting zoo and stuff, but I mean, my God, this lady, she's got to go. And, you know, if she's calling the cops about stuff like this, there's a chance she died an early death from worrying or whatever. But this lady's got to go. I don't know her name, but she is one of my most hated. And I mean, that pretty much, you know, the divorce was probably going to happen, but that pretty much preempted the divorce for her character, for Robin Williams, Sally Field character. So just, I don't know. I had to include her on the list.
That's a good pick. That's really like,
it's very obscure.
Yeah.
That's a deep cut.
All right, Brett, you are up for your final pick.
Yeah, I've been debating this one. I'm just going to go with it. I'm going Uncle Rico, Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh, good one. Okay.
He throws a steak at his nephew's face.
I mean,
for what reason?
I mean,
what fucking reason do you need to
grilled him?
Like, one, you're ruining a good piece of meat, and you're throwing it at your nephew. For what reason?
So good.
Oh,
so good.
Oh, he's and he is that your typical, like, you know, guy who just can't get away from high school. Like, and he wasn't even a good athlete.
Hey, he could throw a football over those mountains, though.
They would have won state if they would have put the fourth string quarterback in.
So good.
Oh, good pick. Good pick. All right, Greg, you're
God, I don't even, we've gone in so many different directions that I don't even know. I don't even know where to go here. As I have a few left on my list, but I'm just going to go to like a movie character that I just despise. And like, I don't know. I assume most people probably despise this character. Audrey Griswold from European Vacation.
That's a really good pick.
Just obnoxious.
She is obnoxious.
Obsessing over stupid boyfriend, like just the worst. And most of the Audreys have been good, but this was just the movie isn't even that good, but she's terrible.
Yeah. So. They really should have just opened the door in one of the cars and just rolled her out.
Yeah,
when they were driving around that roundabout.
Yeah, driving around the roundabout.
Yeah, that was probably the worst of the vacation movies, and that was definitely the worst Audrey.
Yeah.
That was the worst Rusty too.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, good point.
Mm-hmm.
Good point. Okay.
Not to name drop again. We have one more.
No, you're fine. Well, I got the last pick here. Pick number 25. I'll recap them in a minute. But pick number 25 is a pick I was kind of saving, thinking somebody else might take him, but instead of the one that I want, you're the one that I hate. Freaking Danny Zuko, played by John Travolta. Anything John Travolta does, I am not a fan. So John, I really want to just draft John Travolta here, but I got to pick Danny Zuko.
You can just draft the entire Grease cast. God, that's a fucking terrible movie. I said it. Just deal with it, people.
But yeah, I mean, just the John Travolta in general, just bothers me to no end. So, so yeah, he's done a couple good things, but not much. So I'm going with Danny Zuko, Grease. All right, so real quick, Brett's picks. Private, is it Upham?
Yeah.
Okay. Saving Private Ryan, Rachel Dawes, Dark Knight, Frank Rudiger from Rudy, Anakin Skywalker, Phantom Menace, Kristoff from The Truman Show, Dennis Nedry from Jurassic Park, Mayor Larry Vaughn from Jaws, and Uncle Rico, Napoleon Dynamite. Greg's picks are Bella Swan from Twilight, Sofia Coppola, Godfather Part 3, Mark from Love Actually, Maggie O'Houlihan, Caddyshack, Commodus, Emperor Commodus from Gladiator, Mr. Freeze, which is played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Batman and Robin, I believe. Is it Myra Fleener
Myra Fleener, yeah.
Myra Fleener from Hoosiers, and Audrey Griswold, European Vacation. My picks are Rose's mom from Titanic, Buzz McAllister, Home Alone, Warden Norton from Shawshank, Scar from Lion King, Jenny from Forrest Gump, Sack Lodge from Wedding Crashers, the neighbor from Mrs. Doubtfire, and Danny Zuko from Grease. Guys, let's take about 2 minutes here and just any picks we didn't get to. I have a shitload, but
yeah, I still have a ton.
We don't
left.
need to get into descriptions, but anybody we missed that you guys want to name drop now.
Well, this one is not going to be disputed from anybody who's ever watched the Star Wars franchise, but Jar Jar Binks.
Yep.
Like, he was just that guy. That character was just awful.
Agreed. All right, let's just go rapid fire here. Greg, you got one?
Yeah, I sort of teased it earlier, but like either Jacob or Edward from Twilight. I would say probably Jacob, which is the Taylor Lautner character. He can't fucking act.
He's another dude.
Robert Pattinson can act a little bit. We'll see how he's in Batman, but Taylor Lautner, no.
Okay, I like it. I'm gonna go with there are so many cartoon ones like from the Disney one, but like freaking Cruella de Vil, she's gonna straight up just murder 101 dogs. I mean,
for a coat, for a single coat.
Yeah, exactly. Snow White. A lot of people freaking love Snow White. If you go back and watch that movie, that might be the worst voiced character of all time. She can't sing. I know it's from the 1930s or something, but my God, find an actor with a better voice. So, so that's mine. Oh, and one more. And I know we did the Adam Sandler thing last year, and I love Adam Sandler, but freaking Little Nicky, is that one of the worst characters of all time? Yes. I literally, I didn't see it in theaters, but I had that movie on and I turned it off. Like I just couldn't watch it anymore. So
I got two more. One, Cleo McDowell, the money hungry Cleo McDowell from Coming to America.
Good one. Good one.
And then I'm surprised he actually wasn't picked here. I thought for sure he was. I was kind of debating it, but Biff Tannen.
Good one.
Back to the Future.
Good one. Yep. Okay. Greg, any more?
I guess if we want to bookend this with Wonka, I actually had Johnny Depp's version of Willy Wonka on this list. That might be controversial. He's not Gene Wilder. I like Johnny Depp, but I think it was a tough character to try to reprise.
Okay. If I'm correct, just not to dispute that, but I thought I read that Johnny Depp's character was more like the book. Than what Gene Wilder's was, but
probably. And one thing that he did really well was the one thing that probably could have been the first movie could have benefited from when Charlie won. Willy Wonka was like, "You're not bringing family here. Like, not going to happen. It's just going to complicate things."
Nice,
good idea. Revolutionary
Grandpa
idea.
Joe out of it. Yeah. Well, they must have watched.
Yeah.
You must have seen the first one with Grandpa Joe.
All right. I'm gonna just real quick name off the rest I got. Percy Wetmore, Green Mile, Nurse Ratched from One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yvonne Drago. I mean, great character, but plays a hated character. John Kreese. I actually really like Mean Girls, but Regina George. Literally everyone at her school hated her. You could go the stepmother from Cinderella, on and on and on. So everybody, thanks for watching. If we missed any, which I know we did, let us know. Write in, comment, whatever. But let us know. We appreciate you guys watching, and thanks to Greg and Brett for joining us.
Thank you for listening to this show on Youngstown Studio. If you like our programming, we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow our Facebook page, or subscribe to your favorite podcast platform like iTunes or Spotify. This is original Youngstown content, and we would appreciate you sharing the videos and the word about us.